Hey guys, so I just saw the movie Doctor Strange a couple days ago, and basically all I have to say is, without giving too many spoilers, from the kind of alopecia perspective, I thought it was a really cool movie to see because, if you don't know, there is a bald woman in it. So I've been thinking a lot about media images and bald women and how bald women are portrayed, and I've just been thinking a lot about how typically if there's a bald woman in a movie, she's either supposed to have cancer or be sickly in some way, unhealthy, or be evil. And these are like the two images that I kept seeing over and over again. And I'm actually going to make a whole video separately about this, but I am writing my senior thesis in college about media images of bald women, so I've just been thinking about this so much, and it was frustrating me because it just seemed like every time there was a bald woman in a movie, it was sickly or evil. Like, one perfect example of this, obviously there's lots of movies about like cancer survivors, and that's a good example. Usually that's why when people see alopecia they assume it's cancer, because cancer is a lot more common to see images of women who are bald because they have cancer, whereas alopecia isn't really as talked about in the media. And then a good example of a bald woman being evil is, I remember watching this movie and seeing this and like actually almost crying because of how it made me feel. It was the movie, one of the Wolverine movies, I think one of the more recent ones, like 2008-ish, something like that, I don't really know. But it was the one with the villain Viper in it. And the whole movie, you're like kind of skeptical of whether she's a good guy or not. I think haven't seen this movie recently, so I don't really remember the plot line, but how I recall is that she was throughout the whole movie kind of seen like possibly questionably a good guy, and she was also seen as this like sexy woman, but then literally the same scene that she gets revealed to like be definitely evil, she also like sheds her skin as well as taking off her wig and being bald. So like this is the image you end up seeing immediately after she's portrayed and like announced for sure to be evil in the movie. So I remember watching that movie, enjoying every second of it, and then getting to that moment and literally like almost crying watching the movie with my family and like trying to hide it, because seeing that just like made me so upset. Like, I don't think anybody else watching it who isn't bald themselves would have had that connection, but because it was something that I've lived with my whole life, I just like immediately clicked in my head. Like, great, so she's evil, so therefore she has to be bald, and therefore, again, because she's evil, like there was this association so clearly in my head that like she's revealed to be evil, so she can't actually be an attractive woman. She has to be ugly, but then how do we make her look ugly? We show that she's like a lizard woman who also has no hair. Like, the no hair was so connected with the fact that she was ugly and evil that it was just like, in my head it was like evil equals ugly equals bald. Like, that's the connection that I had made in that moment, and it just like, I really did not like that about the movie. Whereas now, after seeing Doctor Strange, I just felt really like proud to be a bald woman. I don't know if that makes sense, but like, obviously in the movie she's bald, I believe, for religious purposes. I think she's like a monk or something like that. Didn't really go into the details in the movie, but she is known as the Ancient One, and she is the most powerful person in the movie. Like, more powerful than Doctor Strange. She is Doctor Strange's mentor. So she is a woman, so it's like female empowerment that she's the most powerful. But on top of that, she's breaking all these like Hollywood standards, and she is a bald woman and she's in power, and I just thought that was so cool. And she wasn't evil either. Like, usually a bald woman would be evil. She was powerful and good, so it was just really cool to see, and I thought she was so kick-ass, and every single scene that she was in I was like, you go girl! The one thing that I didn't really like about how they portrayed her being bald, this is such a minor thing and it's not really that much of a complaint, but it did occur to me that they totally used the fact that she was bald as like a big reveal, because in the first scene that you see her in, this isn't really a spoiler, so don't worry if you haven't seen the movie, but in the first scene you see her in, she is wearing a hood the whole time. She's like wearing this hood, she's fighting, you don't see her face, and she's like really cool and badass and stuff, but then after the fight is over and she's walking down the street, there's a shot of her from behind as she's still wearing the hood, and at the end of the scene she takes off the hood, revealing that she's bald. And the reason that I kind of saw this as intended to be like a reveal and like a shocker was just the fact that why would she be wearing the hood in the scene otherwise, because she never again wears the hood at any other time in the movie. So it just seemed to me like they considered a bald woman being so shocking that they still had to have like the shock factor, like, oh, the big reveal, oh my god, she's bald, that's so crazy. And like, obviously I understand Hollywood has to have like, they have to have those kind of like reveal moments or else it would be kind of a boring movie to watch, but at the same time, it just kind of occurred to me, like, the only reason they were able to use it as, like, a big reveal is because being a bald woman is so unconventional in our society. So that's not, like, a critique or a knock on them, it was just the one thing that I noticed, that I was kind of like, oh, okay, like, bald being unusual. But other than that, I thought she was a really cool character, the actress played her really well, and she was just really cool. And the actress, I forget her name, like Tilda Swinton, I feel like I just butchered her name, so... But she's not bald in real life. She was wearing a bald cap in the movie, however she does have really naturally short hair. I think she always keeps it in like a punk rocky, like pixie cut sort of thing, sort of. So I mean, like, it would have been cool if they had an actress who was like actually naturally bald, but that is super unusual, and I couldn't think of a single actress who is bald and has alopecia, so maybe that's just an unrealistic expectation, but that would be cool to see more actresses in the media who actually do have alopecia as opposed to wearing a bald cap. So I just wanted to share my thoughts with you guys. Just, it was really cool to see an empowered bald woman in a movie, and I don't know, I just thought it was cool and I wanted to share it with you guys. Even if you haven't seen the movie, even if you're not like a superhero person, it got really good reviews. It was just a fun movie to see, so like if you have a family, go see it with your family or go see it on date night or something. It was just really awesome, and I hope I can see it again before it goes out of theaters. So let me know what you think of this character if you saw the movie. I know there was a whole issue about her being whitewashed that I know is very problematic. I didn't discuss that in this video just because that's not really like... I'm just looking at the perspective of her being bald, and I thought that was really cool. And I do know that the fact that she was supposed to be a Tibetan woman and they had her be a white Celtic woman, that kind of obviously was problematic, but just to acknowledge that issue without like making this video all about it. It's just, I know that is a problem. But anyway, let me know what you guys thought of this character below, or name other characters that you know who are empowered bald women, because I am writing my thesis on this, so any information you can give about bald characters in movies or in media that you know of, that would be awesome to contribute that. And thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.